All right, we're live. It's the Sit Politics Podcast. You see who it is. It's Big Baby. It's Deuce Andretti. We're always here. We're always around. You just hit the subscribe button if you want to vibe with us whenever. If you want to if you want to see Deuce Andretti eat something, tune into a live. Because every time it's a fucking popsicle out of the freezer, which, by the way, we did have a comment about that. Jada Spade, which shout out to you, one of our followers here. They commented and they were like, "Yo, that Orange Crush popsicle, that's setting this stream off another level." So I mean, they appreciate your taste.
I want you to just understand, like, your boy don't eat bad food. You know what I mean?
Only the best, yeah. As he eats a fucking cookies and cream Pop-Tart.
This is the best flavor.
Nutrients, man. Nutrients. It's the spice of life. You got to. Other than that, guys, like I said, make sure you tap in. Make sure you check all the other live content. By the way, that UFC got taken down right away. The UFC stream that we did, literally before I even got home, it was already taken down.
I
promise you on everything. Yeah, but more live content coming. The podcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. That's what we're coming live with right now. And just more content in general. Just keep
it down already.
Bro, like I said, literally driving from your house to my house, it had a copyright claim on it, and it was like, no, sir. I mean, it was still worth it because we were able to grab some new followers from that, and it was just fun in general. So, I mean, we would have been watching the fight regardless. So
it was a good time, but that's some bullshit.
It is long. It wasn't that long. It was some good conversations. But it's lost. If you were there, you were there. That's why you got to tap in on the lives, because if you want to, that's the only guarantee. If you want to experience the content, because
we're boycotting the UFC until John Jones fights anyway. So you guys have time.
Yeah, we definitely got to tap in on the on Jones. But yeah, how's everything going, brother? How you feeling? How's your day been going so far?
Got some wings.
Some wings. That's actually what I'm about to. That's what's being made right now. I started out my day when I woke up. I saw Kent and Paul, friends of the show. I wanted to holler at you about that. The group chat,
freaking flyers.
Yeah, they got a lot of miles, and they're obviously very familiar with one another now.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, they've gotten past the point of having to respect each other in any way when communicating. Respecting one another's families, what each other stands for, their religious beliefs, all that without
nothing.
Upbringing, yeah. No, their intelligence, for sure, that was questioned many times.
Yeah, they to both of them, if you ask them one or the other, they're both retarded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they literally couldn't send a message back to one another without saying, like, I can't believe you're this stupid.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, did he say that?
Many messages, instead of Dear Kent, they started out, Dear Ignorant One. It was
dense.
Yeah. What was the one? Hey, shout out Paul, man. Tune in, man. Actually, jump in here if you'd like, but tune in. What was the one? Oh, even my 9-year-old knows the difference between the Earth's atmosphere. I was like,
when you said that one, I was like, all right. I was like,
no, are you smarter than a 5th grader? He would say no.
I wanted to be like, I love all you guys.
Hey, but Billy came through, another frequent flyer. He came through with the love. He's like, guys, everybody respect everybody.
Please.
Please
Billy, everybody.
He doesn't have to say a lot, but when he comes through, it's at the right time. Yeah, it's important. Talk are very heavy. But shout out to Kent and Paul, man. Hopefully we get them on the live one day and they can duke it out. They can duke it out right here. Other than that,
though, they were talking about some fucking crazy shit, honestly, and some goddamn nonsense.
Is space real? I think was the main one that just. Yeah, that was the.
I don't even know. I don't even think that was like the point of the conversation after a certain point. I think it was just like, how can I insult you?
I hurt your feelings during your work day.
Like, my day's bad, so I'm just gonna make you feel it.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's one thing I don't. When I'm talking to my friends, don't make me feel worse when I'm already slaving away. I need to be uplifted.
Brother, yeah, please give me some motivation before I go pull the trigger in the bathroom.
Yeah, they've been fucking throwing dirt on me, shitting on me, fucking yeah. So I mean,
thoughts don't matter and they're irrelevant.
they keep saying, "Aren't you being paid to be here?" Like, okay, well, I guess I got to respect or whatever. But yeah, man, no, it was fun. We got to get them on just to fucking yell at each other again. It's one of the best.
Yeah, that's great.
They're one of the best. Yeah, they're one of the best combos that we've had on here, in my opinion, which is why they're always invited back. So one thing we wanted to just go ahead and get into one of the things from the title today, which is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan recently was had one of his recent podcasts and attempted to, and he made a comment in jest about Jewish people to the effect of they're good with money. And I mean, he doubled down on it. So when I say in jest, it was like a funny statement, but then he like looked around the room and was like, but everybody knows for real though, right? I mean, he did make it pretty apparent. So he did double down on it, but
I don't know why that's weird though, because Jews will tell you that they're good with money.
Do you think so? I mean, all right. So a Jew that you've heard a Jewish person tell you that, then I'm assuming, just for you to have that stance.
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean, Ari Shaffir said it on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's Jewish.
Yeah, but he's a comedian, brother.
Brother, he has a whole come on. I think he has a whole skit right now on that subject.
No, a whole special. Yeah, he has a whole special about the.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean,
but he's Jewish.
Nonsense here.
No, but he's Jewish. That's why he.
Okay. It's like if you were to say, "Oh,
yeah,
he's black," so you know he don't know how to handle money. I would say that's a negative comment.
Yeah,
so that's something to be upset about.
Yeah,
saying that you're good with money is not it's not a negative comment. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
a negative way of saying that would be like, "Oh, you're stingy with your money," or "You're frugal with your money." For someone to say, "Oh, you're good with Jews are good with money," just means okay, they know how to fucking spend money, they know how to make it. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's negative connotation, like his negative historical connotation behind that, where things like Jews are good with money could be potentially linked to the.
But that's if you're putting a negative next to that, which he put a positive, so it's like.
Well, no, but the reason people are upset is because they're upset by the link there between what he said and how it was used in a negative way. As far as like, I mean, Jews control money is what some people would say, and controlled banks and things like that. A lot of that is what World War II was built off of, is dehumanizing and demonizing the Jewish people and that was part of it. Was like, look at all of the money that they have. Look at all.
Well, that's not what Joe Rogan's talking about. So all those cock rides out there, they got to sit back and relax.
But when you make that comment and people are upset about it, you have to be aware. You have to have some self-awareness around the greater context.
The greater good is stop being fucking sensitive. You're not getting hung in the streets like these black people are nowadays here in the South.
Nowadays.
Andretti, last year. Just last year, them boys got a sentence to 15 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true that it does happen as far as like
running old Thunderfoot down and putting him in the tree.
Just about anything you could think of happens in some, form.
No, brother, that shit is happening. That shit was happening like, what I'm saying, like left and right, like school shootings. You know what I mean? Like,
when you say was happening, do you mean like
it's still happening, brother? I mean, you're just not making the news. I mean, I could probably type it in on Google right now, and that shit's gonna pop up. You know what I mean? But if I type in, what happened to these fucking vaccines killing people, you won't see shit on that.
Right, that's definitely not what we're talking about.
I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying.
We're talking about the Jewish community in this case, and you're making the comparison between them and the black community, and people being hung, which is an extreme thing. But it's like it doesn't have to be that extreme.
But it does happen. It does happen though.
It has happened, and I'm sure it does.
Compare that to wealth. Someone talking that you're good with money, brother.
But okay,
you know what I'm saying? My sensitivities are just a little bit different.
People,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I understand, but people do still hate Jewish people. There's still there are some people that are. Come on, brother.
I mean, Kanye is probably one of the few people I've heard say something bad.
No. What do you mean? What are you talking about? There's modern day Nazis, man.
Okay, brother. They don't have a voice.
Oh my God, they do have a voice, man. There's a lot of people that support those.
The modern day Nazis are racist against black people, not Jews. How did that get fucking twisted?
No, they are absolutely racist against Jews, brother.
No, they're racist against blacks, brother.
Okay,
The Jews are secondary now, which is
I
that
think
I don't know how that got
for
fucking worked
sure
out.
catching. I think you're 100% correct that modern
We're
day.
catching the heat. We're catching the heat, brother. Those neo Nazis, they're coming for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, I think it might be more difficult to identify a Jewish person, which I mean, I think is part of. I mean, I've heard black people make this conversation as far as when discussing racism several times, which I think is a fair point to say. Like when people talk about like the racism that say Italians and Irish immigrants faced. It's like, well, in reality, like if you comb your hair to the side and take a fucking bath,
You just look like Tom or John, born in Alabama, brother.
well, and you could be whoever, you know what I mean? You just really can't tell the difference in most cases, as far as like to that specific.
Here's the thing, right? Because here's the problem when people talk about
Which they shouldn't have.
the Jewish and black people thing
Yeah.
is a third or fourth generation immigrant Jewish person can look like just like any other person in America. A third or fourth immigrant of a slave, African American, no matter what happens in his generations, they still gonna look like Africans. They may look lighter skinned or fairer skinned Africans, but you gonna know that motherfuckers got some African in there. You're gonna know their ancestors were slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like you see little light skins running around here and shit. Like
Bro,
yeah,
no, but
ancestors were
okay.
slaves, brother.
So disagree
Or at
with.
least on one side.
I'll disagree with disagree with you just a little bit on this, and you know that I personally have a little secret agent that lives at my house, a daywalker. So my child is of mixed race, and you know what I'm saying, she could walk in any room, brother.
Brother, okay, brother. But there's
But
you know how many generations you had to purify your genes to get that, brother?
to purify, that's sick. That's disgusting. But no, I mean, so I'm just saying there are certain cases where people could be passing in scenarios, and yeah, you know what I mean, like.
Oh man, I'm talking like the motherfuckers now. I need to relax.
Definitely chill with the wife beater on too.
Oh, I need my fucking hood, and I'm good to go.
Somewhere that we're not seeing.
Oh man, let me cover this fucking swastika on my chest, right? Jesus Christ. We're joking. It's a joke. Guys.
Cover it with the pizza stain. Your fucking wife beater.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, what an animal! But yeah, no, 100. No, but yeah, definitely joking.
Yeah, I'm saying that's all I'm saying, though, man. You can't really tell a Jewish person just by looking at him. With a black person, yeah, you tell he's black. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, yeah, he's black. You know, he gets the melanin in his skin, like he's black. Or you could be like, oh yeah, that guy's Mexican, or he's Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell he's Spanish. You know what I mean? That's why I think when it comes to like, you know, like it's just really funny to me when I hear about racism.
Okay.
Jewish people. I'm like, dude, like what are we saying? Like it's, you know, and I get it. Like some people are very outwardly religious Jews. They wear like, you know, the hat and everything. I get it.
Sure.
Takes a yarmulke on their head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I guess if they're in that kind of attire, then yeah, you're gonna tell. But I mean, if he's in his work clothes, working his day job, you're not gonna tell. You're not really gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Unless he tells you, you know what I mean, or you know he doesn't eat pork or something. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, yeah.
I got.
But it's not. I can just look at you and be racist towards you. You know, like I gotta get to know you first.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get to know people. That's a choice you make.
Well, but the thing is, you should never be in a position to where you have to hide that. If your religion requires you to outwardly, like identify yourself, then that shouldn't be something specifically in America that you should be hesitant to do. Although
I agree with.
We're at that point, but yeah, I would definitely say that there's some prejudice against Jewish people, and I think that it exists with everybody. But I think to deny it with Jewish people, and when something happens to where then Jewish people want to point it out and say, "Hey, this is specifically offensive for whatever reason," I don't think it's fair to just completely shut it down just because you're like, well, hey, I wish fucking the stereotypes about my race was that nice.
I think honestly, bro, I think that does shut it down. I think it's like you need to reevaluate the problems you're having. It sounds like you're having good problems. Like, I mean, like, you tell a black person that, we're like, brother, I will lie. That sounds like a good promise to have.
Do you ever get offended when people talk about black dudes having giant dicks? Are you ever like, well, come on now?
No. Like, why the fuck would I get offended? It's like, yeah.
I love
we have monster fucking cocks, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, like, for me, it's like, what the fuck am I going to say about a positive for? Like, it's crazy. That's why I'm saying people are so sensitive. They want to get upset about shit that's good. You know, it's like,
well, to hear somebody like correct somebody, black dude, or somebody was like said that, and they're like, whoa, chill with that.
Don't give them false expectations, brother.
Sure, have in my pants right now, soft. But
don't give those false expectations to her.
That's fair. Well, see, there you go, though. See, now Jewish people, you don't have any money, and your female's like, bro, I thought you motherfuckers had money. You're like, God damn it, it's all Jewish people. We came from a household.
Oh my God, dude.
Family.
But that's what just makes it so fucking crazy, bro. Like, how at one point, you know, dude, in society we get upset about fucking positive shit. Like, what are we doing? Like, and that's the shit that makes the news. That's what blows my mind. It's like, when people sit there and they'll be like, oh, you know, black people are fast. It's like, okay, you're the slow black person, so you're gonna be upset. Like, brother, suck it up. Like, fucking take the win. You know?
Take the win. As long as you don't run, they're going to assume you're fast.
Like, yeah, fucking use it. Fucking bet them and fucking make them race your cousin. It was a 4-2. What the fuck are you saying?
No, okay. Well,
it's just fucking crazy, dude. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping, but I think when I hear certain shit, like, I've just never, to me, I guess the negatives to a Jewish person, to me, when I hear them as a negative, I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like a positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're great with money. Oh, well, I mean, I wish they would say that about my race, but they don't.
Yeah.
That's not what they say.
But this is the only thing I would say, and I've already said this, but this is, I think, the important part.
They
Before
we have a third calf, we got a third calf muscle in each leg. I mean,
you remember that was who the fuck was that? That was like the Jimmy the Greek or some shit from back in the day. Like, got in trouble for saying that.
Yeah,
like, yeah, they have an extra muscle. Actually, Matt, fuck all that. Fuck the Jimmy the Greek. See, this is the wild shit. So my aunt's husband. Okay, my mom told me this, like, when I was a little kid. She and I have a sister that's mixed and her dad's black. So they were over at my aunt's house and they were like, whatever, talking, and her man actually said that to my sister's dad, like, dead ass serious. Who's a black man? Was talking about, like, how people are faster because they have an extra muscle in their leg. And he's like, oh, this motherfucker is wilding right now.
Bro, he just looked at dude like, brother, get the fuck out of my face, please.
That's the problem. See, so actually, let's kind of go down that road a little bit. So that's actually one of the problems. Stupid motherfuckers actually end up kind of hearing these, like, black people are fast. Now somebody stupid adds onto that and says it's because of an extra muscle in their leg. Now you have stupid ass, ignorant, racist motherfuckers that are running around being like, black people are fast because they have an extra muscle in their leg. So now let's fucking insane. No, but now let's take this to the Jewish example. So
I don't think we can, brother. I don't think it fits.
Hold on, let me try. Then tell me that it doesn't make sense. So the positive Jewish example, they're good with money, and then somebody perverts that into they're good with money because they take advantage of people because they have control over all the, you know, important industry in the country, whatever. They're blocking you from making money. Now that it starts a feast or famine kind of mentality. People hate those people because they're like, they have it, so now I can't. Even though it's not how I think logical people feel, but, you know, either way, you know, you kind of feel what I'm saying on that. I know.
I 100% hear you, brother. I really do. I mean, I think it's interesting, to say the least. Sorry, I had to get my mic situation back right. But yeah, no,
I stretched.
What'd you say?
I said I stretched it. In your opinion?
Yeah, you did stretch it. You did. Because it's just not. Like I said, like, for the black person to get upset about the calf thing, it's like, brother, like, take the win.
Oh, so you're not even that. They're like, hey, at the end of the day, if they think we have an extra fucking muscle in our calf, whatever.
We fucking do. Yes, the fuck we do. So, yes.
That's why you need to make sure we're the athletes that you invest into to compete in the Olympics, and
Yes.
you put us in those pro sports so we can make some money back from slavery. Like,
Yeah.
please.
Don't pay that stupid fucking Cooper Cup. He's
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, we can't let those guys play corner and wide receiver. There's too much money out there.
But at the same time, then you have fucking fucking Odell Beckham, his fucking tires blown every time you turn around.
Oh my god, yeah, he can't even stay on the fucking field. It's embarrassing.
Well,
It's just poor guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, that might have fucked around with a colonizer at one point, and then lost that that extra muscle gene. Who knows? But either way, let's move on before we get canceled.
Yeah, this is about to get taken down too.
Yeah,
we've been towing the line. Whole shit. I think we jumped across that line a couple times.
Taylor Gay, what's up, man? I appreciate you tuning in, checking in with us, dropping a comment, man. But so the Rogan thing, this is the one thing I wanted to touch on mainly as far as it pertained to Rogan, is I think it's interesting how he set up a kind of like an ecosystem of his own, where it is because his viewership accepts what he's going to talk about. So his viewership is so significant. It's significant that he can maintain those relationships. He can say something like this, which does toe the line, but is also, it can be seen as it was made in a joking form to a certain extent, but then also like he did acknowledge like, hey, there's some truth in that joke is really the main thing. But I think his audience.
I think there's always truth in some jokes. That's what makes them fucking funny.
Yeah, sure.
You got to be willing to be a little fucking racist, a little fucking prejudiced. You know what I'm saying? I think we talked about this. I think, people relish that shit. That's what people go to comedy for. They want to hear that raunchy shit. That shit that you would hear in a bar, when they're 40 years old with 3 kids and they can't make it to the goddamn bar,
Well, or the things that
special is their bar. They're going to sit down, crack a cold one and watch that Joe Rogan special with a doobie in their mouth when the kids are asleep. People, I don't know. Like, people are very, like I said, though, people are very sensitive nowadays, and I think that's ruining America. If I'm being honest with you, if I'm gonna go off on my America rant, I mean, we need to just start cracking cold ones again and shooting off fucking ARs. What are we doing?
To your point, I think that it's not even like something somebody has to go to the pub for. So I think what you're really touching on. This is the person you work with. This is the person that your mom's friend, or almost. Basically, my point is, it's everybody really when you get to know them. When somebody feels like they can trust you and be their real self, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna make these kind of jokes in some way or fashion. Specifically about people that they love. You can only really make these kind of jokes when you have some kind of like intimate knowledge to the community in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, but that's the thing. I mean, I guess it's just you got to just kind of make jokes based off who your audience is going to be. But when you're on a podcast, man, it's like you're talking. You're going to say something that's going to offend somebody, especially when you're a comedian.
Well, and sit there. Like, I mean, he's doing how many hours of content a week?
Yeah, like he's doing 3 or 4 podcasts a week that are 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah,
2.5 if he likes the person.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just I don't see why you're gonna sit there and shit on the guy. You know what I'm saying, for saying one comment that really isn't a bad comment. Like I said, I will fucking rest my laurels on that. He didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
If he said something crazy, I'd be like, all right, yeah, he's fucking tripping. But he didn't say anything that was like completely fucking out of bounds. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give a lot of leeway because the last time we spoke about him having an issue with the homeless thing, where him and I don't remember who was on the show, but they were joking about killing homeless people. But it's like, for me, I give people a lot of leeway. If people are making a joke and it's an obvious joke, then I'll give people the leeway to make a joke and it not be funny, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you make a joke, it doesn't land, or sometimes when you make a joke, it doesn't land to a specific person, but it does land to another person. So I give people, specifically somebody who's a professional comedian, the leeway to try to make those jokes, and like I said, succeed or fail in them. He's got to stand on that. But I mean, I don't really. Do you have anything else to add to the Joe Rogan conversation?
Nah, I mean, honestly, I think, like I said, that was the one when you sent it, I was like, that's kind of nonsense.
Well, I mean, we spoke about it, but the next conversation that I wanted to hop into was the Brett Favre. Well, actually, I'll let you get your situation settled before I get into Brett Favre, because I know you're going to have a lot to say on that. The situation that I'll kind of freestyle on here is today we had Twitter going ham on 2 Valentine's Day appropriate topics, and the first one being the Olivia Wilde ASAP Rocky situation, which was just her posting something on Twitter, I think it was, or Instagram, admiring how much ASAP Rocky was supporting Rihanna during the Super Bowl. And she had said something along the lines of, it's beautiful or attractive when you see somebody be so passionate about something their partner's doing. And she's like, especially when it's something like to this extent. Which I guess would make it less impressive, to be honest, because it's like, who wouldn't be excited to your woman's performing in the fucking Super Bowl? But either way, I digress.
And yeah, that's fucking insane. What the fuck? Like, bitch, I'm definitely gonna be there, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, I mean, and like,
fucking, you goddamn right. I got the best fucking seat in the house. I'm on the fucking field.
Yeah, extra credit too, though. Extra credit for for being excited for the Super Bowl. I'm over here, you know what I mean? I gotta be fucking excited when the dishes get done and clap it up. You know what I mean? So it's like, if she wants to really get her panties in the jumble, you know what I mean? Like, just see how excited I get when I come home and, like, you know, the fucking rug's clean in the living room. You feel what I'm saying? And, like, you know, it ain't fucking,
there's fucking food on the table. You know what I'm saying? Food on the table.
There's sustenance.
Like, baby.
No, 100%. So I think that crazy. Yeah, I think, but the real question here, and what people were kind of upset about Twitter and things like that, were they basically feeling as if it's home wrecker behavior, and to post things like that is kind of just even letting that admiration be known is negative. For me, to be honest, like in this situation, also both people being involved, being public figures, it's promotion. If anything, it's promotion. It's positive promotion. You're talking about this guy in a positive light. You're talking about a black father in a positive light, which I think is something that's cool.
And he just came off a fucking shooting last year, so I mean, that's a great thing for someone to be posting about him. Like, yeah,
for sure.
He's on probation right now too. So that's a great look.
Yeah, no, his probation officer's loving that. So I mean, I think, yeah, in general, I have no issue with it. I think this is like people being sensitive, people taking things in the negative light and running with it. There is, unfortunately, a lot of times more attention to be had from a negative opinion than a positive opinion. So I mean, you know, I guess in this case, they're just painting this in a negative opinion. I don't see it as negative. But do you have any words on this?
I think I've always been an ASAP Rocky and Rihanna fan.
Yeah,
she was in that music video back in the day. Honestly, I've always respected ASAP and his music. I've always respected him as a person. I'm not surprised to see him doing this. Honestly, it's pretty freaking beautiful. If I have to say so myself.
Yeah,
he's a role model for kids, and anybody that's hating on this is a pussy and should jump off a bridge.
You just say he's in trouble for shooting like a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever?
Well, no, brother, he was acquitted. He was acquitted.
Oh, he is on probation, brother.
No, he was acquitted. He actually, I remembered he was acquitted. I looked it up here a second ago.
Okay, gotcha. Well, so that's a beautiful up, and then to change gears and go into a satanic love story, we got MGK and we got Megan.
Sex cult.
Yeah. They
raping goats and shit.
All of the bedazzled eyeliner and all of the pink suits and leather
dresses he wore.
Yeah, because they couldn't
the bondage gear that she made him wear in public.
I think there's something to be said about this, and this is one true to yourself. I mean, when people get in a relationship and they want to go crazy, like he went super
sucking blood. She was pegging his ass. I know it.
Well, and I can't really blame her if after a couple months of pegging this skinny slight gentleman, that she looks at him and she's like,
I need a little more meat.
How the fuck can I procreate with this man?
I know, bro. For procreate. I mean, dude, she was born with a penis. I mean,
What?
wasn't
What?
that a thing back in the day? She had a penis.
Okay, chill, because you're about to you're for real about to have us looking like Shannon.
Oh my god, no,
Like a motherfucker over here.
Oh, some Sierra type shit, right?
That was the rumor forever, but I mean, I don't think that was ever.
It wasn't no fucking rumor. Fucking parents came out and said she was born with that Peckerwood.
What do you know, brother? That is
Yeah, brother.
I feel like honestly, this is a conspiracy rabbit hole conversation.
Yeah, this is turning into a conspiracy rabbit hole itself. Every fucking topic we're dropping down a rabbit hole.
Literally. But yeah, so I mean, the Megan Fox and the MGK shit, there's not really much to be said about that. Really just a laugh about losing your identity in a relationship. And from what I when I saw this today, it said that they're trying to still work it out, and like their engagement isn't.
She's like, I smelled the cheating on your throat. It's like, bitch, what are you, the devil? Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
you smelled the sin on me? Like, bitch, please.
Have you ever had
see a doctor? Like,
have you ever had your partner ask you to wear something you didn't agree with? Like, even if it was just like to go out, like some like pants or some shit like that.
Because the pain in my face, they spared me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, "Oh, you don't like it, do you?" No, I don't. Okay, you can take it off. Like,
thank
yeah, bitch, I wasn't wearing it anyway.
Take the fucking bunny costume off. Like fucking.
No, I'm not wearing that fucking ugly sweater. I'm wearing my Gucci sweater. Yeah, the one with the line on it that's green and red.
I'm wearing what Top G.
Top G said we don't wear shit like that.
But man, what do you think Top G's opinion would be of MGK?
Fucking pussy. You tell MGK to slap her in her mouth and tell her to get in line.
Slap her mouth to get in line. Hold up, we got let's see here. Yo, self-talk.
What's up?
Oh man, you gotta.
Oh man, you came in with audio problems, baby. You muted. You got us muted, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, cuz.
Man, be careful. Be careful, Kwame Brown. Literally in the truck.
Yeah.
Nah, hey, officially, man. Look, you weren't scared. You weren't scared of Paul, man.
No, man. Paul be
Where Paul at, man? Paul ain't want to get on the chat, defend that space talk.
Yeah, all that space conversations that y'all were having.
I know everything.
Yeah, he knows everything. Okay.
Man, please,
I know everything.
Yeah, Mr. Emotionally, I know everything. I'm tired of you coming up here. I'm tired of you coming these folks narratives.
Damn it, Kent.
Oh, man.
We opened up talking about that text conversation today, man. Y'all were going crazy.
Yeah.
I woke up late and saw that, and I was like, "Oof!" Like, there's like,
brother. I was jumping in and out of that. I was working, and I'm like, "Whoa, these boys are firing off today, boy." Whoa.
Yeah, I was working
like,
on a 2-hour call.
Brother, you were.
I don't remember nothing.
You were not holding back.
Yeah, y'all were firing off. Y'all definitely insulted each other's intelligence for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what we do, baby.
Yeah. He indirectly do it. My 9-year-old son was learning this space stuff in 2nd grade, or whatever he said.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He did subtly throw that in there.
Yeah,
he did subtly throw that in
there. He do that all the time.
Okay, all right.
No, he does.
Yeah, you just actually.
Was that Paul? Oh, my bad. My bad, Cole. I thought that was Paul crying.
Tried him. Oh my god. Well,
shots fired, baby.
Yeah, we were
But I mean,
go ahead.
I'm like, look, Pluto used to be a planet. All these facts you want to talk about 2,500 years ago, they used to study. Yeah, first of all they said the Earth was flat, and then they about killed the guy because he kept saying the Earth was flat. Then they basically said they was gonna kill him or take his science degree or whatever the hell he had back then away from him. And then Pluto used to be a planet, then it wasn't a planet, and now it's like a planet again or something. I'm not even sure. So
Yeah, they said that was just a ball of gas, and now it's a
yeah. So I'm just like
it's like I thought it was a planet that was so cold you couldn't walk on it, but now it's just a ball of gas. But now it's a planet
yeah.
again.
So Ken,
Like, which one is it?
Ken, is your argument that you
They don't know shit.
yeah, you can't totally rely on science because things change with science. There's things that they accept as fact that then later they look back on and say, okay, well, we were wrong about this or that. So you can't just take that as your only evidence. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yes, definitely. They even go back and change their own things.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, do I believe in the things I believe in? Yes, but at the end of the day, hell, they not fact. I don't know if the month realistically, I don't believe we can get to the moon. But I've never been up there and probably will never go up there to be able to tell if we can get to the moon. I don't believe we ever been there, and I don't believe we can get there.
I like that you said probably, so you left the chance that if the opportunity came up, you might go to the moon if they offered it to you.
Nah, I'm not trying to go. Them motherfuckers say, "Hey, you want to take a trip to the moon?" Nah, I'm out, cuz. Y'all got it.
They'd have to strap you to the rocket.
Yeah, they got to strap me to the rocket, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how in the hell you closer to the sun, but it's cold?
Close to the sun, but
It's
fair.
colder. Come
Yeah,
on, man. I mean, that may be some type of scientific answer for that, but it's colder. You know what I'm saying? Peter McCullough, who is he says now I can't then say, but he himself said he probably had more hearts in his hand than any human being on Earth. Said that shot is that jab is bullshit and it will kill you. That's what he said. Now this is from a scientist or doctor, so I don't just get my information from somebody on fucking YouTube or something. Yeah. I mean, yes, sometimes that's a guideline, and then I can try to do further research. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Well, you just get your information from YouTube. I mean, come on now. I mean, realistically, yes, you can say people die from heart attacks and strokes and all this. Matter of fact, he didn't even know a stroke was from the brain, not from the heart. But anyway,
okay,
it is irregular what's going on right now. I mean, can I 1,000% say it's from the shot? Yep.
You say
yeah? Yeah.
I did not expect for you to go that route.
Yeah, it's from that shot that they try to hide all this data.
Yeah.
But some people got that data and it's out there though, cuz. I mean,
bro,
but
like I told you, that one dude literally was taken off Twitter because he was saying he was saying all this stuff about the vaccinations and how they properly weren't tested, they didn't know the side effects, and they didn't know if they actually worked. And they're still not sure if they actually work. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying, yeah, they worked for, like, and he said when he means by actually worked, he means like, does it work for everybody? Is it a universal shot that anybody can just get, or does it just protect people that are fucking older? You know what I'm saying? But the data is not real, bro. They have no real credible data out there about COVID.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's 100% facts.
A lot of times a lot of times when people say that, when they say that they don't have credible data, what they're talking about is that there hasn't been enough time that's passed during the pandemic to gather the data, specifically from when the shot was released. So it's not. I mean, go ahead and say what you were going to say, Ken. I just wanted to basically add that. It's just an aside.
It's 100% fact that these people who died, you go to the hospital and you died from a clogged artery or something. If you had COVID, they said you died of COVID. If you go to the hospital in a car wreck and they tested you for COVID, it's 100% fact. And you got COVID, but you died from the causes from the car accident. They said you died of COVID, which then messes up the numbers.
Sure. Yeah. No, I've heard things like that, and I don't.
I mean, people died a lot on ventilators too, but they're not going to tell you that. Like, people died coming on ventilators for the most part, but they're not going to say that.
It's because of the ventilators.
Yeah, I had heard that as well. So I mean, when we say that we're not going to hear that, though, I mean these are all things that we did hear.
Well, the only reason why I found out about that is because I literally have a coworker that's a nurse, and she literally not a coworker, but a client that's a nurse, and she's in the ER, and she literally was saying like, yeah, if like your family goes to the hospital for COVID, make sure they don't put them on a ventilator. like
Yeah,
she's like the death rate for that shit is I'm not gonna say what she said, but it was a very high number.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like ridiculously high, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
yeah. And Kent, you might know more about this than either of us even. But wasn't it? It didn't have something to do with like your body was relying on the ventilator to breathe, so then it made your lungs weaker or something like that.
100% what it is.
Say that one more time, sir. I'm
You're
in a
good.
bad area.
No, you're good. I was saying, isn't it that the ventilator body would rely too heavily on the ventilator, which then would cause your lungs to weaken? Was that the cause, right? The cause that the
Yeah, I
reason.
apologize. We're gonna have to come back to that question.
Oh Lord have mercy. All right. Oh, this is what happens.
No, but that is 100% true though.
Yeah.
It does. Your lungs don't have to work as much in their muscles. You know what I'm saying? When you don't use a muscle, you lose the muscle.
Beautiful. Okay, I thought you were gonna keep cooking there. I took a little hit there.
Oh, brother, that's all I had to really say. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think I really had to get into that too much more other than
No.
that.
Y'all
I mean, if
sound
you
like
want me
Mark.
Well, here
brother,
we're.
you in the rain, brother? Like, what is going on over there?
There you go. We're gonna drop him out for just a second. We're gonna give you a second. There's no pressure on you, Kent, just so you can get your situation right, and just text me whenever you're good. And yeah.
We'll allow you to get back in here, brother.
Well, he's still here, so I mean, I can just bring him back in whenever.
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying. I know he's backstage.
yeah,
Get him up here, brother.
yeah, let's get him in the mix. What else were we needing to talk about? Because my phone's about to die, so I'm trying not to use it too much. We want to talk about some of the football stuff before Kit gets back in here, because I want to talk about the UFOs over America with Kent, obviously. But where does Jalen Hurts rank for you after the Super Bowl? Today, I don't remember who it was, but I saw somebody on one of the personalities on ESPN or something was saying that he was. Oh, here goes Kent. Saying that he was top 5. Oh no, it wasn't. It was
Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs, thank you, because we talked about it. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs said that he was a top 5 quarterback in the NFL now. Do you agree with that? Do you think that he's top 5, or if not, where?
Like I told you earlier, top 10.
Okay,
he's bumped himself into the top 10.
Can we get that
Here's
question
my
one more
reasoning.
time?
Here's my reasoning. Update your resume.
Yeah, I got you, Kent. So Duce Andretti already answered it, but I was saying the reason the ventilators were causing deaths wasn't it because it made it where your body was relying on the ventilator, so then your lungs were weaker.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. And they had to change. They had to adjust the pressures, and some kind of way they had the pressures wrong. I personally was transporting people across the state of Florida during COVID, and this one lady went to the hospital. 9 people went in. She was the only one that came out alive on the ventilator.
Lord have mercy.
And really quick, I know we talking about football, but I got
Yeah.
one more statement.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I can barely get a damn cell phone signal. In 2023, I'm driving from Inglewood back to the crib.
Yeah.
In 2023, I can barely get a damn cell phone signal. And in 1968, you telling me these motherfuckers could talk to a motherfucker on the moon with that technology. And in 2023, I can't get a damn cell phone call.
Talking
Man,
heavy,
right. Anyway.
He's talking heavy, man.
Yeah.
Heavy. You came in with some conspiracy rabbit hole shit, Kev. We're gonna bring you in on Sunday, brother.
Yeah, we go back to football, man.
No, yeah. Well, we were talking about Jalen Hurts. So Trayvon Diggs, he recently put on Twitter, I think it was, he said that Jalen Hurts was a top 5 quarterback in the NFL after the
he beat their ass. That's why.
performance.
Damn,
he is somebody.
I mean, I understand giving people their flowers, but that sometimes it should be too early.
Bro, you got to understand. Like every time the Eagles,
they got a great
Cowboys,
team,
brother. He hung like 38 on them. Like, what do you mean? Like he's a top 5 quarterback to Trayvon Diggs because he cooks his ass every time they play.
Okay, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying as far as that goes, but I agree with Ken. I think it's too early. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction because of the excitement of the Super Bowl.
I think he's a top 10 quarterback after the season.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna
give him the Joe Burrow leniency because I did the same thing with Joe. He made the Super Bowl. I'm like, all right, you get to crack that top 10. You made a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my only hesitancy with Jalen Hurts, and I think me and you spoke about this already, but really he's only had one sensational year, and it was this year. So I mean,
that's true.
I worry about when people make adjustment to what.
I don't think sensational is the word. Like he's an MVP runner-up. He's like an MVP. He's a Super Bowl MVP runner-up. Like I mean, he lost.
Okay,
what's the thing? The man lost to the guy who we think is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna hold that against my dog. He had one of the greatest seasons we've seen from like a dual threat quarterback in the NFL, bro. I mean, Steve Young.
I gotta give him some credit too. You know what I'm saying? I can say put him in the top 10. I can say because you make a damn Super
Not
Bowl.
Top 5.
Not that you only make the Super Bowl. You played a hell of a game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had the fumble, but it wasn't like they lost the game like really because of him.
No,
he wasn't like game managing.
100% did. No, it was a
well. I mean, I'm just saying.
They 100%
I'm
lost.
just saying. Okay, they lost it because of him. Okay, but what I'm saying is,
they also were in the game because of him. So I'm not gonna hold that against him too much.
Well, exactly. It's not like he was fucking Trent Dilfer back there. You know what I'm saying? Just look shitty, and your defense wins the game. I mean. But I'll say it's a conditional top 10. Let me see. You I can put you in the top 10 now, but let's see the first 8 games of the season next year, and then I might adjust that whole thing.
Oh well, it's always getting adjusted.
Yeah, and I mean, but some of them have bad seasons, like like what's the boy name for the Packers? Aaron Rodgers didn't make the playoffs. I'm assuming by his standards, by the team standards anyway, a bad season.
Yeah.
So, but he's still considered definitely a top 10 quarterback. So I'm giving it to Jalen Hurts because one, like you said, this is like really year. You know what I'm saying? He had 1 year. Then this year he played great. Got his team to the Super Bowl. I mean, that does. In that case mean something.
Who do you put ahead of him? Not in any specific order. It doesn't have to be in order, but you just have to figure out how many guys are ahead of him. So you got Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, is Josh Allen ahead of him for you guys? I would say yes.
Yeah. But like Josh I told you earlier, though, he played this year how we expected Josh Allen to play, brother. And to me, that means a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I think about
great
Josh
year
Allen.
this year as well, right?
He did, but he played better. And that's where I'm like, damn. Like, we got two dudes who can literally run and throw like that. Like, and I think Jalen Hurts is a more accurate quarterback from what I've seen this year. That's where that's where like people are missing me with the Jalen Hurts thing. I'm putting him in the top 10 because the accuracy I've seen in that Super Bowl was next fucking level. There were throws that he made. I'm like, did Patrick Mahomes throw that shit? Did Patty Mahomes throw that shit, dude? Like,
he was very accurate.
Over the linebacker. On the out, the throw that Tua always throws that Paul likes to brag about.
But don't have him throw a Hail Mary, though.
Well, it got tipped, brother. Give him a break. It got tipped.
That bitch 20. Oh, yeah, I ain't know it got tipped. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It got tipped. Well, I will critique the Hail Mary because I felt like the windup was way too long. I'm like, you're a big guy. That's got to come out of your hands like butter, even if it's 70 yards. Like, you should be able to do that no problem. You know what I'm saying? Squatting 600 pounds, like benching 350, 400. Like, I need you to be able to rocket that thing down the field 70. You know,
he bench that much for damn weight. Shit.
Yeah, he was squatting 600 pounds at Oklahoma.
Well, squat is one thing. I'm talking about bench press.
He was benching like 300, 350. Yes.
That's some weight, bro.
Well, so
he's a big dude. He was a running quarterback.
So who else do we? You put Joe Burrow over him still?
Yeah.
So what about Justin Herbert?
I don't know about Justin.
Justin Herbert's later in my top 10, so I got to see who else we throw in there. Like, we would probably obviously throw who's a good quarterback? Lamar Jackson, right? We throw him in there.
You would take Jalen Hurts still?
No.
So Jalen Hurts might be a little higher than what we even think, right? So I mean, he's like top 10, but he's not 10.
No, I'm saying I would. Oh, you're asking me would I take Lamar over him?
Yeah, would you take Lamar over?
Oh, I would. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
See, I don't know if that's that obvious, though. I'll be honest.
It's not that obvious, but I would do it just because Lamar's the MVP. Lamar's the MVP. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's we
I
gotta
think
wait
they're
and
very
see
close.
type deal.
Like I told
Really.
you, bro, I think he's throwing the ball better than Lamar. But Lamar is still the more explosive runner. You know what I'm saying?
I have a lot
If
of
he do, yeah, he is a more explosive run. If he do anything close to what he did this year, next year, then that'll solidify him.
Yeah,
At least in the top 10. Probably at that point, top
near 5
or 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only like Patrick Mahomes at this point, especially after winning the Super Bowl, has completely separated himself. So I think he's one. He could have come out next year and not play. And I think he still solidifies that top spot, in my opinion, or at least near the top. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, we've spoke about. I think they're probably 2 and 3 at this point.
Lamar Jackson's in there too.
So Lamar Jackson, see, I don't know. See, that's where it's kind of interesting because more going into this, I thought it was insane to consider him a top 5 quarterback. I kind of just automatically was reluctant to consider that. But
I might take Burrow before him, but I'll probably put him 3rd.
To Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Lamar Jackson. I think he's generational.
I'll put him over Josh Allen. I would.
Who?
If I could give Lamar Jackson the talent that these other guys have, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has a good offensive line when it's healthy, but it hasn't been healthy. And his weapons ain't been healthy either. And they ain't put nothing outside for him yet that you can look at and be like, all right, that's a number 1. Rashad Bateman's nice, but he hasn't been consistent. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you could be like, oh, well, look what Hollywood Brown did with fucking, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? Kyler Murray. It's like, yeah, and then he was fucking hurt some other season. So it's like he was in the Ravens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough.
But give Lamar some weapons, and I think his production will look a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Lamar, I don't necessarily. So I'll be honest. For me, I worry about Tua's health way more than I do Lamar's, but I do have less faith in Lamar staying healthy over Jalen Hurts, to be honest. So that's one thing.
Hurts missed games too, though, brother.
He missed a few games this year, but I think a lot of that has more to do with they were already in a great position and they have a great team and they can afford for him not to be there. I think if he had to be there, then I think he would have been there. Similar to like Patrick Mahomes at the end of the season when he had to be there, he was there just because.
He did have to be there. He just chose not to play. If his contract and everything was in line, he probably would have played, at least in the playoffs.
Who are you talking about?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, we're talking about
Jalen Hurts should have played too, but he sat out, you know what I'm saying? But he had a game that had seeding implications that he missed, and they ended up losing. But with Lamar Jackson, I agree with Ken. I think if he had a contract guaranteed $200 million, he would have played. But the problem is his fucking franchise is so fucking dense that they built an offense to play with a running quarterback, and now they don't want to pay the running quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes no sense.
100%.
Yeah.
Like you gave him a tight end, what you need, because the tight end's going to be able to slip out all the time and make plays, right? Because he's going to run heavy, so they're going to be crashing. He's going to run right by the linebackers. Cool, get behind him. But then, other than that, there's not much left after that. There's much to be desired with that offense. That's why I'm just like, I think Lamar Jackson gets a slight. But if I'm thinking like my quarterbacks would be like Mahomes, and this is no order, Allen, Jackson. I would say Herbert was in there. I would say Hurts is in there. Who else?
What about Jaguars quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no.
The thing is, he passed Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts at this point, I mean, when we're really sitting here talking about it, you know, he does, honestly, he has a little bit of an argument to be like tiptoeing around.
I gotta look at a list of someone else's top 5 real quick so I can.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah. So for me, I would say the locks are. I wouldn't even lock Lamar Jackson in over. I don't know where I'm getting the feedback from. Enzo, I think that's you. Yeah, as far as that goes, I don't know that I would put Lamar. Bro, you got to fix that feed because we're getting it back on the.
I don't know.
Is that me?
No, I think it's Denzel, but I don't hear it anymore. Oh, he hung up. But yeah, so for me, the Lamar Jackson, he's not a lock over Jalen Hurts at this point. I think Jalen Hurts arguably can throw a better ball, can throw a more consistent ball from what we've seen. Let me get this guy. It says, Denzel, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is arguable that he can throw a better ball than Lamar Jackson, a more consistent ball. I do think that he's a little less reckless with his run style. A lot of it is within the system. And did I mute you or did? Okay. And I just have more faith that he's going to stay healthy. Now, I do agree with Denzel as far as like he's had way more support than Lamar Jackson has had from a passing standpoint. Although I think Lamar Jackson's had a ton of support and investment into his offensive line, into tight end, into they've tried to make some moves work as far as wide receivers, like the Marquise Brown move, but he's not an elite receiver, and I don't think that we would. I
want the okay. So I'm gonna tell you right now. So my list would be Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. I would probably end up throwing in Lamar Jackson. Yeah, there's not a lot of good quarterbacks. So
You said Jalen Hurts first, so I mean, what are you trying to say? So are we coming to the conclusion he might actually be top 5?
No, he's in my top 10 for sure. I'm just so I wouldn't have because here's my problem, right? Rounding out. Okay, so this is I'm gonna tell you what they have ranked. Top 5. I'm gonna tell you what they have ranked top 5. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert. This is where I don't agree with the list. Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Jared Goff, Geno Smith, and Dak Prescott. And then 11 and 12.
Fuck you! What'd you mention those names for?
Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers at 14, Brock Purdy at 15, Kyler at 16, which I don't like. You know what I'm saying? It's just this list is just kind of fucking wonky.
Jared Goff and them, where were they at?
They were high. They were in the top 10.
You're about to cuss me out.
They were in the top 10. So Trevor was 6th, Tua was 7th, Goff was 8th, Geno was 9th, Prescott was 10. I don't agree with that at all. Those all guys need to get out of there.
Yeah, they might be judging just off of a single year, where I think we're making a bigger argument as far as like we're taking their entire body of work, how you feel about them going forward into consideration. So I think in those cases, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, those guys just cannot be considered. And they're definitely not better than Aaron Rodgers.
They got Aaron Rodgers in there.
They had him,
but you got fucking Geno and old boy in there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think, like I told you before, I think all the top 10 quarterbacks are pretty young. I think Aaron Rodgers should probably be at 11 or 10 for me. But yeah,
in the top shit. Fuck. I just hate saying it when we've only seen one fucking year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
like Kyler had a bad year this year, but honestly, like he would probably be in my top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just based off his talent. You know, like Derek Carr would probably be close to my top 10. But
Derek Carr's so teams being thirsty about Derek Carr is starting to make a lot of sense during this conversation.
He would be around my top 10 just because like I don't think that offense was ideal for him. I think he was working with.
Who you gonna get? Trask?
Yeah,
Jameis Winston.
I saw something today from that said they are going to go with Kyle Trask. Supposedly.
Yeah, that's what I heard that too. Yeah,
I think he's pretty decent though. I actually like the kid coming out of Florida.
I mean, he got to learn under Tom Shady. Hopefully, Tom taught him something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the tools, bro. He's got Josh Allen's size and ability. So it's like, I mean,
well, he's definitely not as fast as Josh Allen. Josh Allen's way more athletic than Kyle Trask.
But he's got the same.
Did he play at Florida?
Yeah.
He's still got the same build.
He played the same time as Kyle Pitts. I don't know if you pay attention to them and all that. But they were nice, and that was one of the best Florida teams in a long time. That's what honestly, Dan Mullen. I didn't hate Dan Mullen. I mean, who knows what the fuck he did, but yeah.
Jalen Hurts is definitely top 10 though. I think that's a yeah.
San Francisco. Got hurt.
You talking about 30?
Brock Purdy, he's rounding out my top 12, 13.
No,
I don't know if
about the other guy.
Trey Lance.
Nope.
Jimmy Garoppolo. That's all I said.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. They're letting him walk. They don't even give a fuck about him.
I'm saying what I heard that, but I seen someone say they might try to sign him again, but maybe just clickbait.
If he's gonna come for the cheap, you're damn right. Why not? He's
why not?
For the free ski.
Or a backup.
Where he at on the list?
He's not on my list. He's not in my top.
I think this is the thing. Once you get past 20 or 15, really, you're starting to talk about guys that are interchangeable and probably won't be there long term.
I think when you get to like 13, 14, it's like you're another guy.
But if you're around 15 though, then you better
have a great defense.
Well, this is the thing. You probably are able to find a starting job somewhere else, like the Marcus Mariotas, the Jared Goffs of the world, where it's like they find a starting job until they just get too old, and then there's enough of a young.
About Mariota.
Yeah, but he's close. He's close to be that.
He won 2 Super Bowls.
You said what? Yeah, that was loud as fuck. All good. I feel bad for my dog's transit is from home is just a motherfucker.
I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, we're almost there, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, dude, I think being a backup quarterback is the best job in America. Like, I get to sit here and do nothing and just help this guy become better. Like, and when he performs good, I get a bonus.
No, I mean you're definitely not wrong. You get to ingratiate yourself in the game. You also get to kind of set yourself up uniquely if you want to continue a career after with football, as far as like coaching or something like that. I mean, you're kind of already in that position.
I think that's also maybe the one position, if not maybe a lineman, but that's like the one position they like to have, at least in the backup position, a vet. You know what I mean? They like you to have that vet there.
For sure, man. You had Jake McCown, another guy that was just getting jobs forever, just so he can sit behind some young guy and tell him, this is how you go about being a professional in the NFL and so on and so forth. So,
you gotta think about it, bro. Think about his brother, because him and his brother both made a killing in the NFL. They made millions of dollars just being backups for 15 years. Like,
yeah,
I remember McGowan got paid like $7 million a year at one point from like the Texans or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I think it was Jake McCown. He had basically the option with the Jets. Year in, year out. They were giving him the option, like, hey, do you want to come back? Do you not want to come back? Like, he basically had like a Brett Favre situation where as a backup quarterback. But because he was that valuable, and I can understand a guy that's capable, has seen a lot, and just sets a good example for the young guy. But then again, I guess he did it because you have Zach Wilson. That didn't pan out. So, what kind of example did he really set?
He was there when Wilson was out. I thought this was his first year, but this is a sophomore there, huh?
Well, actually, he might not have been there with Wilson, but no, this is Zach Wilson's third year, I believe, right? Or is it second?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's second or third, but he might not have been. Maybe he was there with Geno, but either way, I mean, the Jets haven't had a quarterback in how long, so it failed for sure. The last thing I wanted to actually talk about before we got out of here, man, and we want to make sure you're on here to have this conversation, is the UFOs over America, man. How do you feel about that? What's the answer?
The answer is there are no UFOs. UFOs are the United States government or governments around the world that they just doing stuff. Ain't no real thing like aliens and UFOs. No, I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in aliens at all?
No.
Not even interdimensional demons? Like,
I mean, demons are real, yeah, but
okay, not aliens.
Not aliens, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, demons real. They talk about them in the Bible, so
yeah.
I believe that.
What's your finger looking good?
So you feel like it's more likely that demons exist from another dimension
show you why demons exist.
than just other organic, like biological.
Yeah, but these other so-called dimensions are.
You see the demon?
Like spiritually. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
I just put y'all on. I just put y'all on, man.
What he said?
He said money's demons.
Might bring some demon out somebody.
Exactly.
But it's not here in the physical form.
You gotta hold it up to the light. You see that?
My dog only got a 20 to show off. He don't got any of those blue ones.
Brother, come on, brother. Don't make me go get the blueies.
Yeah, he don't got any blueies to show off.
I go get the blueies, brother.
Yeah, let's see it. Can't. My bad, for real.
Some people, believe there's portals and all. I don't believe in all that stuff.
So you don't believe in like black holes and stuff like that? Wormholes?
I mean, it might be out deep in space somewhere, yeah. That we can't get to.
But you don't believe in space?
No, I never said I didn't believe in space. I don't believe that we can get to like these planets that's out there, whatever they call them, planets. I don't know, but we can't get to those. No, because we can't leave our little bubble.
Earth is,
and like I was telling Paul,
the dome planet.
Yes, if you go and Google how far does the atmosphere go, you got it starts with a K. I can't remember the name. You got that line. They said 62 miles above Earth. But they don't know like where space really begins. You know what I'm saying? Like what they call what we consider space. Yeah, you can get up there and float around, but beyond that, where does like Earth's atmosphere end and space really begins? They don't know the answer. And it's not some shit I seen on TikTok. This is something I seen on like the Discovery Channel or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you hear. See, this is my only problem with like COVID and like when we talk about this stuff and like people, and there's certain shit that's said. Because my pushback is, it's like, bro, like we were talking about earlier, there's shit that we were told as kids that is not known to be true now. So it's like
exactly.
It's like that's why my pushback. Like I'm a big history buff. Like I'm a big I'm a big history buff. I'm big into science. That was my favorite subject.
Flex.
Two classes I paid attention to.
Okay, AP baby.
There was so much shit.
Advanced placement.
Now that we learned back then that's just not true, and that they've proven to be bullshit. That it's like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You guys don't know if the Big Bang Theory really happened. You don't know if the Earth just cools and heats by itself. You don't know none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all motherfuckers just telling us because you think the research that you're doing is real and leads up to something that concludes to what you want to conclude to.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why
that's
I told
with everything,
Paul.
But there's big topics out there that I think they don't know shit about. And they're not really being open-minded about the possibilities when it comes to certain things. That's how I feel.
But that's exactly why I told Paul Pluto used to be a planet.
Never forget. Pluto used to be a planet. Honestly, I think you brought that up twice on this live. Oh, yep, go ahead. You went out on us for a second, just so you know. You got to pick that back up.
Oh.
You said planet used to
that's why I was telling
planet.
Yeah, that's why I came up with that. I told Paul that Pluto used to be a planet, now it's not. But I remember when I was in school, matter of fact, you can actually go back and look in like Time magazines. They was talking about how the Earth was going to freeze again. We're headed for another ice age, and now all of a sudden we are heating up the Earth.
Yeah. So, do you think that humans have an effect on the atmosphere at all? Just your opinion.
I don't believe in global warming. I believe the Earth goes through these cycles every so, god damn, man, every so often. And that's why we've had ice ages. That's why we've had all these damn things.
So you think that we can pump smoke and dump shit into the ocean and do all these things, and that you think it has no effect on the Earth?
It has to have some type of effect.
I think it does.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it has to have some type of effect. Yes.
Okay.
What effect? I don't know.
Okay.
Is it global warming?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But yeah, because stuff is going where it's never gone before. You know, whether we was on Earth or not, things are going places it's never gone before, like oil. You know, has it ever been 500,000 gallons of oil in the oceans and shit? I'm gonna assume no,
Mm-hmm.
unless a hole sprung up. You know what I mean?
Well, some people.
But here's my thing, though. Right? Here's my thing.
Hold up.
My only thing is
hold up.
Go with Ken's point.
Ken, real quick, because some people say there were civilizations, like full advanced civilizations, before us. But go ahead, Deuce. I just want to make.
That's my thing. It's like we don't know what the climate was like back in the day. There could have been fires all over the fucking earth, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would fucking have the fucking atmosphere deteriorate faster than anything we're doing nowadays. So it's like you can't really say what we're doing is affecting it that much. Y'all can calculate and you can guesstimate.
Hold up.
The differences.
Let's argue a little bit. So you think a bunch of campfires all over the earth has as much effect as fucking that?
No, brother, we're talking about massive fires across continents is what we're talking about.
Fires.
I'm talking
fires
about
is there to renew anyway. That's natural.
Well, okay, my bad. I'm so Jaded Spades. What's up? I'm sorry. I started to read that comment and then I lost what you said. Well, say that one more time, Deuce. I'm sorry. What's your fires example?
What I'm saying is like, okay, so where they think the Younger Dryas impact theory happened in the Sahara Desert, they think that they found scar markings from burns across the Sahara Desert. You know what I'm saying? Like across the whole city, which is 50 miles long. So I'm saying if you're having fires like that across the planet's surface, that's going to heat up our atmosphere a lot more than us just fucking driving some cars with some gas.
What is this fire coming from? The fire. Do you remember? I don't know if you know enough situation to be.
No, I mean, it's basically where they think they found, like, you know, the city of Atlantis and, you know, the Sahara Desert, you know what I'm saying, which they think was flooded by a bunch of water at a point in time. But the water basically created this deep scarring into the earth that's like 50 miles wide. And, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. But if that's true, that was a big ass line of fucking fire scarring the earth, if that was happening, and across multiple continents, that would heat up the atmosphere a lot faster than us just driving some fucking cars around.
The situation you're talking about is fine, and I'm going to say it's valid. I'm not familiar with it, but here, Cam.
The one that you sent me, the Joe Rogan one that the dude was talking about that shit.
No, I feel you. I don't remember the fires thing, but this is my thing. Let's even go with that concept real quick, and let's accept it in this situation. Even so, that sounds like it's basically like a one-off situation. You know what I mean? Like that's not. You're talking about years and years and years, 100 years of nonstop industrial. It's not just like we're driving around in cars and that's it. It's the prolonged exposure of us driving around in cars to the magnitude in which we're driving around in cars. It's not just cars. It's fact. Have you ever driven? Okay, so I know you've traveled quite a bit. Have you ever fucking driven past?
I've been to Indiana, brother. I've seen the fucking factories. Okay. I've seen the factories in Indiana, brother. I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, whenever I pass one of those, I look at that. And when I was driving back to Florida from Indiana this last time, we passed one, and I'm like, "There's no way that has no impact." Okay,
those old fucking mining towns still do exist, people. You're goddamn right, it does.
Dude, it's just it's a big ass box building, and it's just pillowing smoke like clouds, like bigger than
the
you.
Ones I saw, brother, had 3 big ass ones with clouds. Dark.
That's what I was telling.
Smoke.
I was telling my partner that when we were driving by, I'm like, that's literally like when you think about that to scale, that's bigger than skyscrapers. You know what I mean? We don't have like really a concept of how big that is. And it's of smoke. So I'm just like, I'm not a global warming nut by any means or anything like that. And I do agree with you guys to a certain extent. I do agree with you guys as far as like, I think there is some evidence that the Earth does go in cycles and heating cycles and cooling cycles and whatever.
Like I
But
told you before with this,
yeah,
I told you I actually thought that we were helping that situation more than we were hurting it.
he's like, I think it's good.
Because if everybody's right, if all these new scientists are right about they think that the Earth is cold more than it is hot, then yeah, we need to keep fucking driving these fucking cars around. We need to keep doing everything that we're fucking doing to keep this bitch fired up.
Yeah. Hey.
I live in Florida for a reason, bitch. It's hot.
Yeah, well, the problem with that being is this whole thing will be flooded. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. Okay, all right, nice plating, wonderful plating. We do have the middle of America.
Get that rabbit food off the screen, brother.
We could just
man. That's what I got delivered to me at work today.
Get that rabbit food. Should have been a fucking.
What is that?
That's
a pantry dish of meat, steak and bratwurst and pork roast,
cheeses and meats.
Yeah, there we go.
They sent you something like you're a woman.
Yeah, brother, what is that? Kent, they're trying to woo you. They're trying to woo you, Kent.
He brought it home. He's re-gifting it to his wife.
Hey, he's trying to woo you to take your butt.
No, my wife sent me that. But hey,
okay, your wife.
This is what I think. Also,
you're alive. Yeah, you're alive.
Is that
Yeah, my wife sent me this.
We're taking things out of the earth, meaning we're taking all these the mining industry up in Mulberry, phosphate capital of the world. The diamonds we're taking out. What we're taking? We're taking the stuff to make batteries.
The most untapped resource, boy.
The cobalt or whatever whatever stuff out of the earth also.
Cutting you off, brother.
Yeah.
He started to touch.
Boy, they trying to shut Kent down, boy.
I'm muting you for a second.
Right now, the people shutting him down right now.
Yeah, your mic was just going crazy, but don't forget that truth.
Everybody else lagging too, man. Boy, they trying to get me fucking with your shit.
I heard a little bit of what he's saying. I know he's mentioned some of the natural resources like cobalt and stuff like that they use to produce batteries and things. I'm gonna try to bring you in here again, Kent. We'll see how you sound. Yo.
My bad. Give me one sec. I think it drop off when I come close to this door.
Okay, you're good. I'm muting you again. But yeah, I know you're talking about natural resources and mining that. I'm interested to hear where he's going to go with that, though. So, what were you saying, Deuce?
I mean, I think, yeah, he has an interesting point with the resources thing, just because.
Hey, bring me back, cuz I'm ready.
You're in, brother. Go ahead, jump off.
Oh, that was the door making that squeaky noise. But yeah, honestly, I think that's more important, honestly, than the smoke going into the atmosphere. I understand, yes, I do believe it's doing something. To what extent, I don't know. But I think that's more important, that we're digging into the earth and just robbing it of all its minerals and whatever else is down there.
So you think those minerals might do something for the earth? Is that the point you're making?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously they got there some type of way, and they've gotten hard and sat there and did their thing. So it gotta be something.
Like when he takes the lamp and the whole thing shuts down. You're talking about, like I'm saying, about taking these minerals from the earth and it have basically it being in some way important to the earth to have, like, say for example, cobalt. I don't know what earth, because you're kind of like talking about the earth
as seen that fucking 7.8 Earth earthquake that just happened over there in Turkey now.
I mean,
no, I'm not.
Keep fucking with Mother Earth.
I'm not.
Keep fucking with Mother Earth. All
Yeah.
right.
like we have a bunch of sinkholes in Central Florida, but also what's in Central Florida is mosaic and the mining industry digging holes every damn where. Digging up rock, digging up lime, digging up all these different materials, and they get a bunch of sinkholes in Central Florida.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not completely discounting it, but it's almost as if we're kind of like referring
Sabotage.
as if it's like a living organism in a way. You know what I mean? When you're like,
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, I mean,
it is interesting.
I mean, these insects and different things do their job and things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What did she do to us for us to treat her so bad?
Well, you know, I mean,
did she fuck our cousin?
Well, in a way, we're kind of like victims in a way of our success as a species. You know what I mean? And how we've been able to create an atmosphere.
Brother, I could have went without an iPhone, brother. Don't put me in this.
Hold up. So this is the other thing. Like, as far as like when you consider how many of us there are, like, we've created it to be relatively safe for the most part to be a human being. Like in most places in the world, you're able to have shelter. You're able to eat somewhat regularly, and yeah, you don't have to.
Toilet.
You could take a shit in a toilet. You don't have to risk going behind a tree and getting. Imagine how many people got saved by indoor plumbing. How many people were getting mauled by fucking tigers out in the wilderness while taking a shit? Like, you can't defend yourself against a tiger if it catches you while you're trying to take a shit. It really is over.
Brother, it better hope it doesn't catch me while I'm shitting. I'll be one pissed off camper. I'm taking it, cutting off its fucking paws first.
Well, hopefully it's just like the whole, the whole situation. It's just like
if it's that tiger from fucking Mowgli, I'm fucking beating his ass.
Yeah, I don't. But the thing is, you weren't raised by wolves, brother.
No, you're right. I was raised by demons.
Okay. What else do we want to talk about tonight? By the way, before we get out here, UFOs. I don't think we really got into that.
Yeah, let's keep the rabbit hole going, brothers. Let's get into it. Let's dive in, man. I'm firing up a joint here in 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, you're
keep it rocking.
Yeah, you're now in your element. 'Cause I see you rolling, and you finally stepped into your zone. Is it? You said it's a joint?
Oh no, this is a blunt.
Oh, it's a woodski.
This is a thickie.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is like, damn, it's a stick.
Kid's mowing down on some ice, as he should. Let me see if I can get something delivered, to be honest.
He's like, brother, yeah. He's like, you know what? Let me get a fucking joint delivered, a Mountain Dew, extra ice. And if we can get some burrito tacos stat.
Oh, yeah. I think she's supposed to be making that tomorrow. So, I mean, if you want to pull up, brother, you know, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yeah, brother, I might have to go my way out of work for that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, no. So you said the UFOs. We wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. They've seen several now. So we went down this rabbit hole because Kent mentioned that they're definitely not aliens because he doesn't believe aliens exist.
Well, my thing is I need to see pictures of these bitches. Like, we see pictures of Commander David Fraser and other shit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, brother, it sounded like you were eating ice right in the microphone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Commander David Fravor shit. We seen what that fucking UFO looks like. I haven't seen pictures of these fucking ones they shot out of the sky yet.
Yeah.
Just like Bigfoot. I ain't seen that bastard yet. They have a whole series on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I ain't seen it.
Well, Bigfoot, I think if anything, that's more likely that's something that existed at one point.
That's someone that was running around with a fucking bear costume on and a bulletproof vest.
Well, I think what more likely, I think it was probably a type of ape or something like that lived at one point, and then there was like, legends told around it, and then that got just perpetuated.
I can accept that.
Brother, they shot the motherfucker, and it just didn't fall right away. I'm like, it probably died millions of miles away and shit.
Are you talking about an actual Bigfoot sighting?
Yeah, bro. One of the dudes shot the motherfucker, bro. There's a video from a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Dude definitely shoots that bitch, and that bitch is definitely running. And you know what I'm saying? The mother, he just got away. Like it's running up rocks, like it's nothing. And you know, it kind of reminded me of a situation. People are like, damn, how's they able to move on those rocks like that? And I'm like, well, I thought about it. Like my cousin, man, in the islands. I'll never forget this. When I went to visit him, we went to a waterfall, and the waterfalls had a bunch of moss on them and shit, so it made it really slippery to even like step on. You know what I mean? Bro, this motherfucker was skipping on them bitches like it was nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bro, hopping back and forth, my cousin in the islands. I was like, damn. So when I saw this video of like this fucking Bigfoot running up this fucking rock, this like rock slide, I'm like,
you were like Islander?
yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I believe it because I'm like, yeah, if that's your element and your feet are just used to like walking on fucking stones all day, like, yeah, you're probably gonna be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I feel that. Yeah, it's
But I
definitely.
was thinking like for myself, like fuck no, like it's not happening. Like no, thank you, sir. I like my feet.
No, 100%. I think it's it's got to be dedication to get your fucking feet calloused to the point to where stones don't affect them. Did you mute yourself or did I mute you, cuz?
I muted me. I was eating some chips.
Oh, all right, got you.
That sounded like ice, I guess. But they they say we supposed to be barefooted. We supposed to be grounded to the ground.
Oh Lord.
Supposedly.
Yeah, they say that our bad energy and toxins are supposed to come out through our feet when we walk on the soil.
Is that that's the some of the ancestral tenets, right?
And then that's supposed to be our energy, our battery connected to the earth. That's supposed to be our energy. And then also when we take a number 2, your toilet should be down. You should do a full squat.
So what do y'all jump up in the toilet or some shit?
No,
They say if you put a small stool in front of you and have your feet on it, it's the same effect.
Yeah,
but you're not supposed to. This is how a lot of people get colon cancer in men. Is that a lot of men squat, don't like they squat all the way down and sit on the toilet when they shit, and your bowels don't open up properly, and then it seeps into your urinary tract, and that's how you get prostate cancer and shit like that. So what they tell you to do is they tell you to get a stool and have a stool in front of you when you shit, so that your bowels open up right. I forgot what the organ is, but so it opens up all the way and it does what it's supposed to do.
Well, so hold on.
So your small intestine and your colon. So think about back in the day.
Right in front of you. I'm trying to understand. You guys are saying when you're sitting down on your on the toilet, you should have a stool in front of the toilet so you can put your feet up
to raise your knees up. Yeah. So
it makes it like you're squatting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey. Okay, guys.
Because they say when you're squat.
Wow.
In a squatted position.
You're saying.
When you're in the squatted position, there's no pushing needed for that shit to come out.
Have you tried this?
Yes, brother, I have.
I haven't.
In the dark. That's sick. You have. Okay. And I mean, so no pushing.
Okay.
Yeah. No pushing needed. That's one thing that you took. What else did you take away from it?
It clean you out better.
It was a lot better, honestly. I felt better after. Like my stomach felt better. Like I was like, oh, that's nice. That makes sense. It works. You know what I mean? But it's just not one of those things that you're talking about because it's a part of like holistic medicine, which is frowned upon.
Exactly.
You do it like all the time now?
Yeah, I'll try it. Damn, Ken, would you racking up a pistol?
Well, no, don't try to change the subject, Deuce Andretti. I'm asking you.
My guy's getting up. I'm just sorry. My guy's getting artillery ready. Like he's about to be doing a school shooting or something. Jesus.
Whoa, hello, yes. Ooh. Sensitive subject. But yeah, brother. So is it something that you do regularly now, or did you just try it and you're like, oh, okay, that helps, and then you never implemented it?
What do you mean?
the stool shits.
Oh no, bro! I've been doing it as much as I can. Like I don't have a proper stool, so I'll just like grab something and like use it. Like It's because I just try to measure. Like, I didn't get a proper height.
I think I'm gonna
I
try
just
it
saw
now.
the dude at the store.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like you just got to raise your feet up maybe like 2-3 feet off the ground, they said, and then that's like proper shitting position.
2-3 feet off the ground. I don't think you realize how high off the ground that is.
Okay, no, I mean maybe 3 or 4 inches off the ground. Some shit.
Okay, yeah, because I'm like imagining like you know what I mean.
I'm about to say that bitch about to lay in the toilet.
Yeah, no, the number required. I bet.
That's why it comes right out, brother. It's like a rocket.
Oh yeah, you're getting dunked in that bit. But yeah, that's really interesting. Honestly, that's got 2 missing guests. Oh, let's see. Jade Spades, thank you. Let's see here. So you got 2. I don't know if they can see y'all.
But yeah, man. So I listen to stuff like that, and then I hear some of these other things that y'all say, oh, that's bogus, that's crazy, you know.
Oh, you can't see it. And they're saying they can't see your face. That's okay. Well, Deuce Andretti, he can't do much about that. He's outside and it's nighttime.
I'm house jacked up down here. That's due to Hurricane Ian.
Hurricane Ian, man. Look what these guys are going through.
He's trying to scam the insurance company. Don't let him fool you.
Oh, wait, chill for real, man. There's
I'm just fucking with you.
No, that's legitimate. That's his house, man. The damage
really. His house, guys. It's not his house.
And it's from
that is his cousin's house. Whole county.
Could you imagine? Oh man. But damn, what were guys? UFOs over America. You guys definitely think that there's no aliens. Well, actually, Deuce Andretti, do you believe in
aliens?
Oh, you do.
But I just don't know if this shit is real because like this is just like you know like. Bro, they look like balloons. You know what I'm saying? Like, aliens aren't fucking, like, what the fuck are we talking? Well, no, okay. So the balloon they shot down, right?
Yeah.
They said they shot at something and they missed. But then they said they took it down. Now, this is my problem.
Yeah.
We don't have shit that can move like a spacecraft from outer space can move. If the shit can stop on a dime. Have you seen the hovering jet that we have? The jet that we have that can hover literally takes like 5 minutes to get out of hover mode and take off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's just what they're showing you, Cuff.
Exactly. I think we are the UFOs. Our government has all this technology. They using it on us. Like, why all of a sudden? Why 2022 or 21, whenever they said it, UFOs are real. You know, up until then, UFO was fake or aliens or whatever they said.
Yeah.
So you think they're trying to throw off Russia?
You know, I don't know. I have no clue.
Hogwarts Legacy coming tomorrow, by the way, just for y'all that ask.
Huh?
No, I'm responding to the chat. I know y'all. You guys keep doing your thing. They said, put your fucking face on camera, pissing me off. And then they also said, Deuce needs a light. Jesus. And a mic. What the hell's going on?
I'm eating. That's why my face ain't on camera.
No, you're all good. I mean, they're just playing. This is Jaded Spades. They've been on here the whole time. One of our best followers. And Chloe, thank you for commenting. Like I said, we'll get on that Hogwarts Legacy. I didn't want to interrupt your guys' conversation. I was just trying to respond to it. You guys keep going, please.
Oh no, but I think there are true like UFO sightings though, in my opinion. Like I think there is real shit. I'm like not up to date on everything, but like I've seen some videos where I'm like, yeah, like that's not a fake video. So if that's a real video, someone's got to explain that to me in the government and give me a logical explanation for what the fuck I just witnessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they can't,
do you think they owe you? That's one thing I'm curious about. Do you think your government owes you full transparency on everything they have, as far as technology goes? Go
they
ahead.
owe that stuff.
No. They owe you. Why is that? Because taxpayer money?
No, because there's so many different elements that go with that. You know, if you believe if aliens are real, then people who got abducted, so to speak, maybe they really did then. Then maybe you really can get to space, but you can't get to space. Or maybe they can get through the Van Allen belts.
Yeah.
You just can't get through them. You know, maybe that's why they deformed from all that radiation from the Van Allen belts. You know
Well, brother, I'll
what
tell you, I'll give him 5,000 people if they taught me how to get through the fucking Van Allen belt.
Give them 5,000. Oh my gosh, you've watched too much. Isn't that I think it's the American Horror Story thing. They had to give up people to the UFOs. Jada Spades, by the way, says UFOs are 100% real. Dumb to try to lie about that. Government needs to quit it.
Yeah, but they said they were fake all this time. Now they say they're real. So what's the benefit of that?
The benefit of what? Saying that's fake and then turn around and saying it's real? It's never too late to do the right thing, kid.
Whatever.
Government of the people, etc. Yes, they need to stop the ridiculous lying about it. That's from Jade Space as well. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I think the lying in general is it's not conducive to running a good government. But I mean, it is consistent with how the government's been run to this point, to be honest. And that's why to expect that from the government, Deuce, this is more for you.
Project Paperclip.
Yeah, I think it's probably, not going to happen.
I'm just saying, like, if I was the president, I would be like, with all my top people, I'd be like, someone's going to have that conversation with me. I don't need to have a private. I don't need to announce that shit to the public, but a motherfucker's gonna tell me what's up with the bitches flying around. Like, is that an issue? Like, is that a problem?
Do you think?
I need to know if that's a problem. I'm not gonna be the president that gets fucking United States destroyed by UFOs.
You think that the UFO situation is what exactly? But I guess I'm not clear on that. Kent says it's government agencies, and what is it that you're saying?
As long as it's not a threat, I can care less. If it's a threat, then we got an issue. I don't give a fuck what it is. It could be an alien. It could be a damn dog that can talk.
Okay. Well, I mean, so what's your opinion, though? Do you think... I mean, you said you believe in aliens to start this, right?
Yeah. Say again?
You said you believe in aliens to start this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then it's a possibility in your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it could be aliens.
Yeah, nailed it. 100%. I agree.
So if it's aliens, then they coming out of Antarctica. Well, we can't go anyway. So if there are aliens, that's where they're coming from.
So question, because a lot of times the thing here is like, I've heard people say the reason you can't be honest with the public is because they can't handle certain things. Something I've heard is like,
they've lied to us. If they never lied to us from the get-go, we wouldn't be at this point.
My thing is, what I was going to say is, if you told me tomorrow that aliens existed, I don't really know how much that is going to change for me personally, to be honest.
I don't think it would change the world. Like if they actually showed us an alien.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, this aliens exist." We even if they said, "Hey, we lied about it." I mean, I guess you wouldn't want to say that because you don't want to, further damage the trust between you and your citizens. But that's already there. So let's just say theoretically that they came out and said that. That's not all that groundbreaking of a concept for me to wrap my head around. I think maybe in like 1950s America, 1960s America, where like they were already struggling to get past the fact that people had different colors of skin. Maybe that would have been a tough thing for them to wrap their fucking heads around. But for me personally, like if you said that aliens, I don't know how much that changes for me. The fact that there's aliens, I still got to pay my bills. Nothing changed. The aliens not gonna pay my bills now. So it's like
for me, even though I don't believe in them, it wouldn't change shit for me either.
All right.
Like I said, I just need to know if it's a problem. If it's not a problem, we're good to go.
Yeah. All right. So we got some more comments here. Jade Spades says, "Yeah, that's sad. We don't expect better." Probably talking about the government keeping things from us and lying. And then they also said, "I think it's 100% space aliens." 100%. That's a high likelihood. And then we got technology here on Earth has forced the government to admit the bare minimum. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that is kind of where we're getting to. We're getting to a point where the government could honestly lie, kill presidents, and get away with it, a la the JFK assassination, and they could bury that in whatever.
Good man.
But because of the technology and how we're able to communicate today, it does make it impossible to hide everything. That's one of my issues with when we talk about like rig sports and things like that. It's like for me, when everybody has a voice, everybody can leak information to the world.
It's not everybody though.
What do you mean? Well, I mean anybody involved is what I mean. Like in the government, anybody involved in whatever conspiracy or whatever, they have the ability to get it in front of a huge audience. Where before the internet, I mean, I guess you go to a newspaper and you're like, hey, I hope you have the connections we need to get the story off the ground. But go ahead, Ken.
People have come out and said that it's fake, it's rigged or sabotage, however you want to call it, and people still don't believe it. The man had a glove. The ball came out of his glove. I mean, the ball was sticking to the glove. He pulled his hand out, and the glove was still on the ball.
Yeah.
They show us stuff. They have to show us stuff, and we just accept it as it is what it is, or we'll make up something that's total opposite of what they just did, and then that gives them the okay to go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So there is like a burden on whoever's trying to disprove the accepted reality. So like, for example, in this case, the NFL's not rigged. There's a bigger burden on the person than coming and just saying, yeah, no, it's rigged. Or the one that you like to bring up, the Jerry Rice and the Tim Brown one, where it's like, yeah, no, he came in and he changed the game plan and we didn't agree with that. I don't know I don't know what Tim Brown specifically said, but I know the Jerry Rice clip that we've went over a few times. So that to me, the burden is heavier than what they're actually proving. So they're
I mean, they said not only did those two say it, a defensive player who won the MVP of the Super Bowl also said it in the same Super Bowl.
Well, here, real quick, just because I don't want to get off the topic or whatever, but Jaded Spades, I want to read another one of their comments. Yes, I asked my eye doctor yesterday what he thought about JFK. He said 100% deep state inside job. So, I mean, you made an interesting point actually earlier today in the group chat, which I thought was sad, but I thought it was very accurate. And I think this speaks to a lot of people's opinions on, specifically Americans' opinions on government, which was you said that you question everything and that you don't trust anything since 9/11 and COVID. So I think those are two, and there's a few other things there, but those are two really interesting points to point at as sort of flashpoints in our lifetime, as far as like you could even, like I said, you could point to other things specifically before we were alive, things like so once again the JFK assassination, Watergate with Richard Nixon. So plenty of moments, but even just in our short, there you go. Even in our short lifespan, there's been things like that. What effect do you think that has on the society overall? Because I think that what you're touching on, by the way, is really common. Like I would say, even for me, that would be where whatever skepticism I have of the government is rooted in those kind of events that you're talking about. So, what kind of effect do you think that has?
I mean, I think most people they go by what's on the news. Like, and I don't think it has big enough effect to actually change anything. Big enough that it'll cause a major change. Yes, there's people who don't believe this, who don't believe that, whatever's true or not. Until somebody gets on mainstream television, one of these news broadcasters or something, and say something, and it's allowed to play without being cut off. Until then, I don't think nothing will change. I don't think it'll have an effect on anything.
Yeah.
Because most people don't believe anything unless it's on your regular news channel.
Well, so I think that's to point to Jaded Spade's point earlier. I think that's changed with technology, though, because you have people that have a ton of credibility and mainstream credibility to what you're talking about, that end up moving away from a mainstream audience to build more of an independent audience that they can.
But you get criticized for that from people.
I totally agree.
You get criticized, and that's why I say, or they find a way to block you, like they did Dr. Peter McCullough, the doctor who said you shouldn't take these vaccines, you shouldn't do this. COVID is this. COVID is real, yes, 100%. But I'm just saying that they blocking people like that, and then like even the stories that come out today, they don't say that it's possible that this person, got the jab and this is what happened to him. They don't give you the real numbers.
Well, so I think one issue. Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say when you go to that second, when you go to YouTube and find something, and then you try to do some research on it, and obviously you use discernment, so you just don't believe in everything you hear on the internet, because that's not even real. Like the thing with the when old boy said the sports was rigged. Okay, well, let me see the full video of this, because I don't believe he just went on there and said Arian Foster said, oh, sports is rigged, yeah, we got a strip. And when he said that, I already knew he was bull jiving. So let me go watch the full tape myself and at least see what you said. And then you try to do more as much research as you possibly can. So
sure.
And then like the thing about the bus boycott, that was done by Claudette Colvin. And then long story short, Rosa Parks came and redid it, and we don't give them no credit. We don't give Claudette Colvin credit. It's just all Rosa Parks. But she was an activist, and she was with Dr. Martin Luther King. That's why they do it for her.
Yeah. Well,
so little things like that. I'm sorry, little things like that add up, and it just keeps continuing to happen and happen and happen. I mean, you got to start looking at elsewhere, and that's why I say you should, like the old school say, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Yeah, I like that. I think the way that we're fighting that though now, and I know you kind of addressed it a little bit there, but I mean, I'd push back on it again. That I think that kind of skepticism has led to people to go, and also it's so convenient to take in alternative point of views and independent journalism and things of that nature, because things like YouTube or things like Twitter or so on and so forth. So you don't have the gatekeepers that are preventing this kind of information from getting out anymore. And I think what you're talking about, it was more relevant when, you had to get on MSNBC or whatever, CNN, to get your message out to that audience. But now that audience, they all have Twitter accounts, and they're all looking to follow somebody that, I mean, I guess the one issue is, like you said, they could kind of blackball you or not, I guess in the YouTube sense and things. They shadow ban you. That's the new version of that. But it still is around. Quick, I just want to touch on all these comments real quick. 9/11, shady shenanigans, and also alternative media is growing. Eventually, mainstream will lose all credibility. One thing I want to touch on with that is I think that one thing now too, if people are really trying to get information, you can't trust the information that you're getting from mainstream entertainment journalism, which is what, when you talk about Fox or you talk about any of these, I mean, honestly, any of the mainstream news channels, they're there to retain a viewership, and they're there to capitalize off advertisers. They're entertainers and personalities first and foremost. So it's a skewed version of the world that you're getting if you're tuning into that, and I think very dangerous. And I think that's where people are kind of getting fed up and then seeking out alternative points of view. Yellow journalism is a real thing. Jaded Space, if you want to hop in here, exactly, please let us know what yellow journalism is. And should I have said that?
But I got criticized though for
yellow
something off of YouTube.
Real quick before they put in here, yellow journalism, I'm gonna say that's probably like non-biased, like not red, not blue. So yellow journalism is probably like
should be non-biased. I mean,
That's
I don't
my
know if
guess.
that's what that means. But.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear. My bad, Ken. I had to throw that out there. Also, by the way, Ken on this one. Deleting that comment. Knock it down. But yeah, no. Ken, what else were you saying, brother? I'm sorry.
But I get criticized for maybe I see something on YouTube, TikTok. I personally believe it doesn't matter where the information comes from. Some people don't like Fox News. Some people don't like CNN or whatever the case may be. But I believe personally, you take that information that they just gave you, and then you go do the research on it. It doesn't matter where it came from. I mean, now they're going to shade it one way or the other. Yes, I get that. But you take that information. This is what got me more so into politics. And it was when, they said Trump called Haiti a shithole or something. And then this stuff, grab him by the pussy and all this stuff here. I wanted to go see what the real article said and read or watch the actual videos, whatever the case may be. And then that's what got me rolling. Because once you read the real article, it's taken all out of context or whatever the case may be. But you take that information, whatever they say, whoever says it, and then you try to go do your own research on it. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair, and that is definitely something that in the past, and I think definitely still today, is used to discredit information that you get from places that aren't mainstream media sources. I mean, in reality, a lot of the people that are on
sometimes a mainstream, like Fox News might say something, or CNN might say something, but they're going to shade it in their direction.
Well, I'm saying when people say the YouTube thing, when people are like, "Oh, okay, you probably learned that from YouTube or something." I've heard that, and I think that is definitely something that people use to immediately discredit whatever information you got, as if because you got it off YouTube, it can't be the truth. So yeah, I agree with you, and I think that is something we have to evolve with because there's a lot of very credible, and in a lot of cases, I would argue more honest at the very least, if not more informed, at the very least more honest. Dialogues happening on YouTube than what are happening on Fox News. And the reason I mention them isn't to say that their information can't be credible in any instance. It's just that I'm just recognizing that there's a ulterior motive to rather than not just about giving you the information. It's about giving you the information and then making you feel something about the information you just got. And I'm not saying that's unique to them by any means. I'm saying that's pretty much modern day news in general.
Is, though, when you have these news channels, the biggest issue is like they don't have enough time to bring a professional on there to speak on something. You know what I mean? In a way that people can break it down and understand. Like they're doing short little news clips where they're doing little fucking clip bites and little fucking troll moves to trigger one side or the other. And then, it's usually negative clickbait. That's the problem with mainstream news outlets right now. It's like you said, it's entertainment news. You know what I mean? And they're trying to.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but that's definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
entertainment
and they don't really give a damn who they're picking off or who they're fucking firing up or whatever. They just give a fuck people are watching and people are fucking, getting fucking hypnotized by whatever they're putting on the screen. Because in most cases, a lot of the problems and shit that they portray and they blow up are not truly like big issues. Like they make things go crazy. Like when all those riots started happening and shit, if they wouldn't have put that shit on the news, like that shit wouldn't have taken place across the nation.
Yeah. One time in my life that I can remember this being kind of like jarring to me was I don't remember, I think maybe it was like CNN or whichever one like Anderson Cooper's on. And it was during the Trayvon Martin killing. And I remember watching that, and that was obviously like a very sensitive time and taking in that news, and it was just weird, how that made everybody feel and things like that. But I remember watching it and I was watching, like, just following it on two different news channels, and I noticed on the one that the liberal leading channel, they had like cut out a lot of the voice, like recording for the George Zimmerman recording where he was with talking to the police on the phone. They had cut out a lot, basically to sensationalize the clip in a way, and make it sound even crazier than what it was. And I just remember thinking at that time that it was unnecessary, that what had already happened was already so egregious that you don't have to fan a flame that's already, like, you know what I mean? It's already in full force. You know what I mean? It's already obviously something that is racially sensitive and motivated. And then to make it sound even worse was just like I said, to me, it's like, why? It's like, it seemed like you're competing and that you're playing into whatever kind of narrative to sensationalize it. Which, by the way, I wanted to read this comment. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that if you have anything to say about it. But I wanted to read this comment from Jaded Spade real quick. Journalism this is the yellow journalism. Journalism that is based upon sensationalism and crude exaggeration, equating murder and dismemberment with smoking pot is the worst yellow journalism. And that's in quotes. So I don't know. Somebody must have said that at some point. Heavily utilized during the Vietnam War. And then eye doctor is a Trumper, by the way. LOL. Very good. Getting that good eye care. You must have a private insurance. I'm just guessing. But yeah, either way, do you guys have anything to add on the journalism point or whatever? Well, I'm looking at a karaoke.
Part of the problem is with journalism too is, like I said before, investigative journalism is not really rewarded anymore in a sense, right? You have a lot of people that get paid to write articles about a bunch of nonsense, a lot of uninspired writing.
Yeah.
You either write about, what someone's daily routine is, or, then actually go and get paid to go investigate and do research on, some type of disease or war or something. You know what I mean? It's fucking.
Well, some of that speak to like the values of us as a country and as a culture in general, though, to be honest, where we enjoy talking about or what we're pursuing is just a little bit different than that. I don't know. I mean, what's your point on that? I just wanted to mention that.
I mean, it's just like you could research even good things, like new ways to do agriculture, like that are being done across the world, like investigating how people, grow food in other places without fertilizer and all that other shit and pesticides and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And survive. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could go and actually like pick up shit and implement it to better society. You know what I mean? By basically putting it out there that we're not getting the best treatment that we could possibly getting in certain areas. Like you could actually do like investigative journalism into things like that, but instead it's like it's pushed towards like just more nonsense, bro. It's just like I just don't get it. I never understand it, And that's the problem with the news right now. That's why you can't see any, professional specialists come on there and get a 15-minute segment, because there's no journalist going and finding the guy and doing the research to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's a reporter from Vice TV. Jada Spade says they agree with Deuce 100%. Also said nonsense. They straight up gaslight sometimes, like we don't have eyes. Yeah. Before we get up out of here, I did want to holler at you guys. Ask how you feel about Shannon Sharp getting sued by Brett Favre. Brett Favre allegedly, big alleged, I'm going to say on this video real quick, is accused
and Pat
of.
McAfee.
He's also
doing Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And some other guy, the lawyer, some lawyer or something.
Well, let's say what he's accused of. It was basically like redirecting government funds to pay for a volleyball stadium, allegedly. This is all My understanding as a non-professional here, and just want to make that very clear in case anybody's watching this and they want to send a lawsuit my way. This is pure speculation. But yeah, he's suing.
What happened?
So Brett Favre suing Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for, they have shows similar to this where they talk about sports and they discuss this topic. And Brett Favre is suggesting in a irresponsible way. Do you know any specifics as far as like what they're saying they said specifically, Pat McAfee or Shannon Sharp, that crossed the line? Like, was it like representing it as a fact, or I don't know if you guys saw that.
I didn't hear nothing. I did watch Pat McAfee, and he said that they first sent him a letter to go back and take everything down that he said about it. He had so much time to do it, and then obviously he said no, and then they came back and said obviously to take it down and something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. But he definitely said no, and he's representing himself in court.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's awesome. Well, so he's gonna make he's gonna, whatever he's suing him for, he might actually get that money back in just publicity for just making the whole thing a wild sham.
They say Brett worth $100 million. So
yeah.
You know, you got all those damn commercials.
Oh my goodness!
What was that?
Commercial.
Oh yeah,
That's
for sure.
But Brett Favre had the money to build a stadium himself. That's what I don't understand why he stole the money.
Me either.
Yeah, but why
I don't even get it.
Yourself if I could just steal all this money from these people that don't know about it.
If nothing else, he could probably put up a little donation thing.
Yeah.
He get half the money funded.
Make an Instagram post. Go back to Green Bay for 2 days. Sign people's jerseys and shit and ask for donations, like you said. And then nice to see you, Kent. That's what
they ain't want to eat on camera. They say it's disrespectful to eat on camera, but I love, you know what I'm saying, a little hungry there. My wife ain't got home.
I'm personally not eating on camera. It's the audio. If you do it, which I mean, honestly, some people love that. Some people tune in just for some. That's what I was telling Deuce Andretti last time we were when we were doing that UFC live. He was
that's different though, because you about to be there for hours.
We were locked in, but it wasn't too bad. But you weren't on
the
here.
Guy that lost.
Yeah.
That the guy that the last fight I watched anyway was the black guy got subbed in because somebody couldn't fight, and then got towed out right off rip. He was beat basically. You remember that guy that beat him?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If it's the one that you're talking, I think it's the Jack Della Molina fight or whatever. The dude looked like he had like a little bit of a cleft palate going on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
He beat up the black dude real quick.
Yeah, it's first round.
To the ground.
Yeah, he hit him and he made him do like a sonic roll.
Did he fight recently?
Not that. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw him fight not that long ago, probably like 5 months ago.
Lost. I thought he was the one that lost the other night.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, he not that fight.
You're talking about Volkanovski.
That's it. That's him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that fight was great.
Did he fight the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought last Saturday.
He lost. They robbed him.
Well, I mean, we couldn't say
we can't that fight. Then he lost.
Robbery. We can't say
they robbed him, bro.
We can't say it was a robbery because he did have more takedowns, had a lot of control time.
Something that they had to come to a decision.
They had to go to a decision, and then they gave it to the champ because when you come in there, you got to actually beat the champ. You know what I mean? You have to beat him.
Bro, he was on top of the dude, beating the shit out of him. Going to the fucking time, like for the last minute of the fourth round. Like, what are we talking about? Had that man on his back pleading for his life. Like,
if it would have been the way around, Islam was challenging Volkanovski for his championship, they probably would have gave it to Volkanovski in this case. Because nobody
to Islam because they're fucking
nobody really separated It could have been it could have been a draw even, but I think you have to have a like lost point or whatever for that to happen. In most cases.
Yeah, because that's what happened in a fight before that.
Yeah. There's a draw on the card where the guy lost the point and then it ended up being a draw.
That's crazy. He fucking lost. He fucking draw because he lost the point.
Yeah. Okay.
He would have won the fight. What
he was like putting his hand on the cage or something. The guy was not playing. He's like, nope, point lost.
Brother. It was quick though. I was like, brother, you gotta give him, give him some leeway.
No, I was watching something. They were saying like most people get a warning for that. Did he cross the line? Did he not? And most of them were actually like, no, he just. I think they said it was Drew Goddard was his name. And they're like, he just doesn't play. So it's like, you did break the rules. You just gotta know that.
I'd have fucking threw the guy into him on purpose.
But yeah, the Islam fight versus Alex Volkanovski, it was a very close fight. Volkanovski did his thing, but at the end of the day, we can't say that he like definitely beat Islam. Islam did his thing. He dropped him as well. He brought him down a lot. He had 4 takedowns, I think. And when people say mixed martial arts, they get upset about the wrestling, but that is part of the martial art, is the wrestling portion of it. And he controlled the situation most of the time on the ground. Volkanovski did better than what we anticipated. But I think part of it was expectations going into the fight was why, we were so impressed with what Volkanovski was doing, because we expected him going into the fight fighting a bigger guy. Not to possibly have won. We definitely didn't expect that. We definitely expected him to lose. He was the underdog. But who's pound for pound now?
Volkanovski.
Me? When John Jones gonna fight?
I think that's March.
Pound for pound still.
Hey, we got to lock in on that. I didn't know that, and I'm gonna have to look into that. But either way, Kent, right now, baby, we're gonna lock you in. When the John Jones fight happens, you gonna be there?
Yeah, cuz I got a funeral this weekend though.
This is like March that I'm talking about. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my cousin's husband killed himself.
Oh,
brother, that's terrible. Well, you already know our hearts are with you. Love goes to Kent. To make it feel a little bit better, go subscribe to my dog, man. Go subscribe to my dog.
Come on over, baby. Yeah. Hey, tomorrow night, we're going live from the gym. We got back day. Tomorrow night, probably by 10 or 11. I'm not sure yet. I gotta solidify that time.
I love how you
nights we're going live from the gym.
Okay, I love how you flipped that. It was sounded so sad, and then you flipped it with the song, and then say come to the gym. All right, go check it. That's sad. They're like, come on over, baby. Yeah. No, but that's why you should. That's why you should, because this man right here, a credible guy. Love doing this content with you, and you are an inspiration for real, man. You smile through all the bullshit, so I appreciate that. So go check him out for good content and just okay, and then also he's on steroids. You want to know how he makes it work? There it is. Deuce Andretti, brother. They can find him on Twitter and our thing, doing the Sit and Politics podcast every Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're gonna try to do this thing live more, get a little traction in the chat. We appreciate Jay Spades for going crazy in here with us and having a full conversation. Chloe, Taylor Gang, all you guys, we appreciate it, man. Deuce Andretti, anything to say, baby? Let them know.
Oh, it was fun chatting it up, having a good time with y'all tonight. Bye.
Yeah.
Hope everybody has a happy Valentine's Day. You get some good food in your system.
Yeah.
To fuck some good shit up right here.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you hear on TV.
No,
what it is.
We spent Valentine's Day together. When you said that, that made it so sad, because I'm thinking like we went through a whole odyssey. You know what I mean? This is Homer's Odyssey. We spent it together. Jay Spades, I appreciate you for real. It was nice having this conversation. It 100% being aliens. I'm kind of with him on that, to be real with you. I think we got I think we got aliens amongst us. How do you feel about that? One more time, because this is what I'm curious with you. Because I know you're heavy with God, and I respect that. You're a man of faith. So how does aliens affect your view there? Because earlier we said if it is aliens, it doesn't really affect shit for us. But then when you really think about it, does that affect anything with your faith? Just curious.
No, I've heard. Now I haven't found it myself, but I've heard they talk about aliens in the Bible. Now, until I see that, I don't believe it. I know there were giants on Earth and all that stuff there, but the aliens, I'm not good with. Now, some people believe that they're fallen angels. Some people say the aliens are actually fallen angels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what it is. They say the way that they describe the angels were not human-like.
Yeah.
Or anything that
I can actually ride with that.
Yeah, I've seen some recently. Like I've watched some like videos where they were talking about like historical depictions of angels, which were pretty wild. Like I mean, basically like cosmic monsters. To be honest, like having several eyes around their body, just not looking like angels how we've depicted them. Anyways, by the way,
no human figure.
Jada Space says, "Hey, dudes," and then also says, "Happy Valentine's Day, guys."
Hey! Before we get off, I gotta say one more. I don't believe this, by the way, so don't even be tripping. I do not personally believe this, but some people say you can go ahead out in Arizona.
Yeah.
What mountains out is the Grand? Where's the Grand Canyon? I don't know if it's
is Arizona.
Yeah, they say you can walk out there in that desert.
Yeah.
And somewhere, if you go to a certain place, you'll get arrested because that will take you to Africa.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man.
No, that's the thing.
I don't believe it. I really don't. But that's what I heard the other day. Like,
the Earth. Damn. So is that like the explanation?
Earth, it's a part of the hollow Earth theory.
Okay, hollow Earth theory. Is the hollow Earth flat? I don't know. Like, does it go hand in hand?
Man, I don't know.
Hey,
that part I don't know.
At the end of the day, we are just three gentlemen.
So what are you saying right now?
That's what I knew when he said. I knew when I asked. Honestly, I knew when I asked about God that it wasn't going to end here. And then when he started talking about, you go down to the Grand Canyon, you can reach Africa. Yeah, I knew we were going to be here.
There's supposed to be some kind of way you walk into somewhere out there, and then you end up in Africa, man. They say Africa is connected to the U.S. and that the Mississippi River is the I think they say it's the Nile River. When they talk about the Nile River in the Bible, they're talking about the Mississippi River.
The Mississippi River.
Man, don't get mad at me, man. I'm just saying what people believe. I don't believe that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't even understand.
From like a biblical perspective, or is that coming from like a?
Yeah.
No, people saying that's what it is.
Like
basically, you in Africa, you go somewhere in Africa, walk out, and then you end up in Arizona.
You walk out of Africa, Arizona, and then the thing that I'm honestly having a harder time understanding how the Mississippi River is the fucking Nile River. Like
they say, the Nile is one famous river I'm pretty sure it's the Nile River. Yeah. That they're saying because you in Africa, so they're saying you walk into the spot and you end up over here, and then that's the Nile River, but we call it the Mississippi River.
Okay,
so it's the Nile River on the other side of the flat Earth.
I don't think that happens.
The people in the national parks, man.
Damn. Did you see what they said in the comment?
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Okay, I was right to say you're just locked in like that. That is crazy. Yeah, that explains missing 411 stuff. All the missing people in national parks. They fucking fell into Africa and shit.
Oh.
Yeah,
that means I'm the only one not that I believe it, but I'm the only one. I'm not the only one that sees these things.
Listen, there's questions. My only issue is to accept things without it also has. So when we're scrutinizing things that are conventional wisdom, I'm with that, but I also have to scrutinize the alternative shit. At least,
You guys are spewing some bullshit. Like I'm called spade a spade.
At least as at least as thoroughly as I would something that's conventional wisdom. So, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm not even gonna. What the fuck? Africa.
Hey man, go on YouTube and look it up, man. Don't mean it's true, but go there and look it up.
Go find him.
In the Grand Canyon, brother.
Deuce Andretti on Twitter. Sit in politic everywhere. We love y'all. It was a great Valentine's Day.
Hey, listen, can I say this? The Grand Canyon is so fucking deep. When you look over the side of that motherfucker, you want to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that. That shit.
Come up in Africa, the other side.
Bro, you're gonna fucking have a heart attack if you fall off the edge before you even hit the ground. You're gonna die before you hit the ground from cardiac arrest, bro. I promise you.
Okay.
That's how deep that shit is.
Explain that, yeah.
So you might be onto something. When I think about it, how deep that shit is, it's halfway into the earth, in my opinion. So
you're already halfway to Africa, if we're keeping it real. It's just
for real. That shit is deep, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, that shit is deep. In the cartoons where the fucking motherfuckers used to fall into the canyons, that is literally, and they used to look like the fucking ants. That's literally what it's like, bro. Because there's a little river down there. You can see a river down, but a little rapid down there.
Yeah.
So, literally cartoon looking like shit. It's crazy.
Fake. It's fake.
I gotta get over that.
Looks fake, brother. Looks fake.
I gotta take me and my camper. We gotta go over there one day.
When you go there, there's a little place you can go. It's on the
Grand Canyon is magical.
Indian tour or whatever, and they have this glass platform you can walk out over.
Yeah.
Bro.
Actually, idea for next Valentine's.
I did that in Tennessee.
That's very cool.
Over the glass platform, you up in the mountains.
This ain't no Tennessee. This is the Grand Canyon, brother. You're going shit.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I did that in Tennessee, though, cuz.
Guys, so I have an idea next Valentine's Day. So we tell our girls, right? We're going to Africa. And we get them plane tickets to Arizona. All right, yeah. We get there.